Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. So after watching Wu Assassins, it got me nostalgic for like Wuxia films because I talked about it in my review. Which Wuxia, for people who don't know, it's spelled Wuxia. It's like Chinese fantasy media. So like it started off like in book form and obviously ended up in plays and TV and movies. So it's like a fantasy kind of genre in Chinese works. So I was looking up movies, Wuxia movies, and I saw this list, which was kind of retarded in my opinion, because again, Wuxia is like Chinese like fantasy, and like this stupid retard on like Screen Rant made a list of like top 10 movies for people who like what's it called hidden, what is it called, Hidden Dragon, or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. That's the fucking movie, which is like, I don't know, I like that movie, but it's kind of overrated in my opinion. Like there's yeah, so I saw this list and it was like it pissed me off because it was like two of the movies on the fucking list were like Ip Man movies, and Ip Man is based off a real guy. He's like the guy who trained like Bruce Lee in like the 1920s or something. So it's like obviously that's not fantasy, right? The one movie on the list caught my attention, and that was Ashes of Time, a 1994 movie by what's his name, Wong Kar-wai, if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's Kar-wai Wong, who was pretty big during the Hong Kong New Wave era, where he made a movie with Tony Lueng and Leslie Chang, where they're like gay lovers or some shit. And it's like, obviously you can't have that now in modern China, but like, yeah, but before that they made this movie called Ashes of Time, which came out in 1994, which is pretty much the best way to describe it is like an art house Wuxia film, but like with like almost Western, like Wild West Western, like influences, especially with, since the movie takes place in a desert, and like you have these really quick short sword fights, which in martial art movies they're known for the really long drawn out sword fights. Like if you ever seen movies like Hero, or like other Jet Li movies, other Wuxia movies, like they're known for their long fight scenes. Even in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, here they're they're short, but like really like really well shot. Like you have this Australian cinematographer. What was his name? Well, it's not show. Before it showed me. Now it's not showing me. It's like, god damn it! It was like a fucking Australian guy. Let me double check. Christopher Doyle, that's his name. And apparently, this guy has worked on like over 50 Chinese films, mostly working with Wong Kar-wai. And also, I forgot to mention, Sammo Hung did the fight choreography in the movie, right? Which Sammo Hung is like a martial artist, actor himself. If you ever seen like movies where there's like a fat guy fighting, and like that's Sammo Hung, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm getting ahead of myself with this review. Let's go into the stars, and then we'll go into the story. So the stars for the movie are, just give me a sec. I'll just go on here. You have Leslie Chang as Ouyang Feng, Tony Kai Fai Young as Huang Yaoshi, Bridgette Lin as Murong Yang. Is that right? That picture does not look like her, and like the girl in the movie. Okay, whatever. Tony Lueng as blind swordsman. Well, he wasn't that blind, but whatever. Karina Lau as Peach Blossom. You got Charlie Young as young girl. Jackie Cheung as Hung Shi. Maggie Shang as the woman. You'll know her from movies like Hero, which Tony Lueng was also in that movie. And the rest of these people, I don't know. Like, so the story for this movie is it takes place in this desert in China, during the medieval era, I guess, whatever you would call that in China. Which is this story is based. The story for the movie is based off a Wu-xia story, which Wu-xia is this novelist who's done a lot of Wuxia books, and like he even responsible for the Legend of the Condor Hero, which is like the most famous Wuxia novel ever, and it's been adapted into TV shows and movies. Right? There's even a Legend of the Condor Hero anime, which is fucking terrible. Like, I've tried watching it like 3 times. I can't even. It's like I can't get past like the first couple episodes. And the English dub is like so bad. Oh my god. Yeah. So like the story takes place in this desert in China. You have the main character I would say for this movie is probably Leslie Cheung's character Ouyang Fang, who is this assassin / middleman who I forgot to mention that this part of China at this point in time is suffering from a drought, right? Which is it's a desert, so that's big. Because of the drought, there's lots of bandits and shit going around. So our main character is Ouyang Fang, who is telling us different stories of characters he met. Like the first story is about his best friend, who's the best swordsman in the region, called what was his name? Huang Yaoshi, I think was his name. Let me double check. Yeah, Huang Yaoshi is played by Tony Lueng, right? Who visits him every year. This guy is kind of an asshole. Like, he has a habit of like breaking women's hearts. He's like kind of a playboy, right? So he shows up one year. He has wine that if you drink it, it'll make you forget. It's like magic wine, and he starts drinking it, right, and starts to lose his memories. So after that, there's this character who is this female crossdresser who LARPs as the Murong. When she's a boy, she's Murong Yang. When she's a girl, she's Murong Yin, and she pretends to be like this brother and sister like duo, but it's like pretty obvious that they're the same person because they're never in the same room together. So while like Hyang Yaoshi is like drinking with this crossdresser, he tells her she's dressed as a man at this point. He's like, if you had a sister, I would marry her, right? And he's the female crossdresser is like, oh, I'll introduce my sister to you, right? And they set up a mean point, and he never shows up. At this point, it's implied like he's losing his memory, right? So like this pisses the chick off, which at first I thought when I learn about this character watching this movie, I'm like, oh fuck, is this why this movie is liked so much? Because of progressive bullshit, right? But no, the movie is actually good. So like, yeah, she at first she wants pretending to be her brother. She goes to the Ouyang Fang saying, I want you to kill Hyang Yaoshi and I'll give you all this money and shit. She LARPs as this prince of the Murong. At this point she's LARPing as like a prince of the Murong clan, if that's a real thing, I don't know. And like, you know, he gets visited by the sister, who's obviously they're the same person, saying, if you kill Hyang Yaoshi, I'll kill you. Kill my brother instead, I'll pay you double, right? So at this point he's figured out like this is bullshit, right? And eventually she leaves and like becomes like a famous female swordsman. The next story is where we get introduced to Tony Lueng's character, Blind Swordsman, who was friends with Hyang Yaoshi, but he slept with his wife or something, and like he left home after that. There's a lot of cucking in this movie. So he left home after that, which he wears this kind of cool outfit. Like he has these like metal like I don't know if they're these like little metal plates that are tied to strings over his shoulders, so they kind of look like shoulder armor, which I thought was pretty cool. Like he was going to kill. He made a vow that if he ever saw Hyang Yaoshi again, he would kill him. But he broke his vow because, you know, he started losing his vision after that. Which, you know, it's explained that he was always like he always had shitty eyesight, and that he was going to be blind by 30, so he's almost 30. And he meets Ouyang Fang because, you know, he needs money to go back home, and he wants to go home to see the peach blossoms one more time before he goes blind. So like Ouyang Fang gives him a job from the villagers to kill these bandits. So that the main character, so this is where this movie starts to feel like a western. Every day our character, the blind swordsman, is waiting for this bandits to show up, and each day his vision gets worse and worse. And there's also a subplot where there's this girl with a donkey and eggs who's trying to pay, you know, Ouyang Fang to like kill these militiamen that killed her brother, and she doesn't have money to like, you know, pay him, and he doesn't want her mule and eggs, which is super sad because apparently that mule, her only possessions that she has is that mule, and it's like her mother gave that for her deathbed for her dowry, which people don't know what a dowry is, it's like a gift the wife's family gives to the husband for like marrying their daughter, right? That's what dowries are. So like he like on the final day where he's going to fight the bandits, he kisses the girl. He steals a kiss from the girl who's waiting outside of Ouyang Fang's place, and like, you know, makes her fucking cry. It's a little rapey, but he did because, like, you know, he knows he's gonna die, and the girl reminded him of his wife, who you see her at the end of the movie. Or sorry, you actually see her throughout the movie, but like, yeah, she doesn't have any lines until the end, which it took me a while to. Nah, never mind. But like, yeah, she doesn't even look anything like her, so I thought that was weird, but whatever. Well, she has like a similar hairstyle, so that could have been why. So he goes to fight the bandits, and the fight scenes are great, but the problem is it turns into Dynasty Warriors, and like at this point he can only see when the sun's out, So he has to fight like 100 fucking guys, and what ends up happening is a cloud blocks the sun, and a horseman rides by and like kills him. Which we get introduced to our next character, who's this dumb kind of guy called Hong-gi, who wields a saber, who's like, you know, an up-and-coming swordsman. He gets hired by Ouyang Feng to take out the bandits. He takes Ouyang Feng takes like what's the new character Hong-gi to like show him the corpse of the blind swordsman, to show him, hey, like, look out for, like, because the finishing blow on like blind swordsman is this blow to the neck, which he explains it was by a left-handed swordsman. So he tells him, hey, look out for the left-handed swordsman. And how that story ends up is, like, you know, his wife is waiting for him, and what ends up happening is he takes an egg from the girl with the mule and fights her brother's killers, loses a finger somehow on his sword hand, which, like, how you did that, I have no idea. But he did, and after that he quits and goes on a journey with his wife, and he's reunited with his wife, right? Which at first he didn't want to be with his wife because he wanted to adventure first, become a famous swordsman, then come home, which they explain never happened. So the last story is it kind of, you know, it kind of creates this like ring story where like the movie ends, right, by finishing off, by giving the context to what happened in the beginning of the movie, where you find out the Hyung Yaoshi has been like, you know, hanging out with Ouyang Feng's wife once a year. She gets sick and died, but before she died, she gave Hyung Yaoshi this the magic wine, which, you know, causes him to forget, but it's obviously not really magic wine. So like it was supposed to be given to Ouyang Feng, which Ouyang Feng starts drinking it, and like the more he drinks it, the more he remembers his like wife that he lost to his brother, because like he would go on journeys too, and like, you know, leave his wife at home, and then like, you know, she being left behind so many times decides fuck it and just marry her brother. the dude's brother. So like the movie, it's like a lot of like art house martial arts movie. It's kind of like a tragic. There's lots of tragic love stories in here. People getting cucked. There's some cool action scenes in the movie, though I'm kind of pissed off the movie didn't end with an action scene, to be honest, because like they explain Hyung Yaoshi is like, you know, the greatest swordsman in the land, and you never see him in a sword fight, which is kind of bullshit, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. So like here's the positives from the movie is that you have great music in the movie, great cinematography, great dialogue. Though some of the lines are like pretty pretentious, but it's, you know, it's like it's an old kung fu. It's like it has that like old like Chinese wisdom kind of thing. Like throughout the movie, the guy will like quote from the almanac, which is supposed to predict the weather, but it'll be very poetic. So I don't know. I really love this movie. I'm giving it 8 out of 10. I think if you're a fan of Hero, which I think this is by the same director. Let me double check. No, my bad. He didn't do Hero. He did the guy who did Hero was which I'm talking about, the Jet Li movie, was Zhang Yimou, who directed like other movies like House of Flying Daggers and that fucking Matt Damon movie, The Great Wall. Which, yeah, I don't know. So this movie, I thought was a great movie. If you're a fan, like I said, if you're a fan of like old school martial art movies, but like with some drama there, you're gonna love this movie. All right, guys, later, peace.